Douglas Urbanski from Little Horses. Douglas, thank you, sir. Please, on that far left side, if you don't mind. And then, instant, we're going to start with Doug. Okay, I think, that's even better, even more iconic. Douglas, thank you for being here. You missed my incredible bit. Is that on? Yeah,
it's on.
Okay, great. Well, this is good, because I wanted to start with you. That was an amazing first episode of the 5th season. First of all, congratulations on it. Also, for folks who don't know, you've already finished the 6th, and you're currently in production for the 7th, so busy person.
I have a question. Have many of you seen the show prior to tonight? So, you'll notice here. Oh, here.
Here comes Mr. Gary Oldman. Sir. Go ahead, sir. So Douglas is just asking the crowd questions, which is great.
I asked if they had seen the show prior to this. Have those of you who've seen it prior, have you been watching it since season 1? Yeah. The reason I was asking is I always direct people, if you're just joining it now, stop what you're doing and go back to 1 and get the whole ride, because it's kind of worth it. You'll notice, if you've seen the seasons before, that this season opens a little differently than the previous seasons, because each book is kind of different, and each time we do a book, we try and stay faithful to the tone that Mick is creating. So this season is, in many ways, it's a little more playful, and you'll see a little sillier as we go on, because Ho is going to be one of our central characters, and that's being faithful to Mick's book. So if you sensed it, I'm glad that you liked it, because we're always wondering, are we staying true to the tone and the frequency of humor and serious stuff that is happening? And that's a really big concern, so I'm happy to hear that you liked it.
Was this
Season 5, episode 1. I know it's hard for you to keep track. Y'all are so far ahead. Y'all are working really hard. Mr. Gary Oldman, sir, first of all, I just want to thank you for the first 4 seasons. They've been incredible, and I'm so excited we're now here at the 5th. For you, I think it was kind of very acutely illustrated in this one. You're just trying to have breakfast. And everybody's just coming in here with their BS. I think what you see in this first episode is a lot of different expressions of PTSD after the events of last season. And I talk about how your character's approaching last season's events, because he seems a bit fed up and more over it than even normal. Which is saying a lot.
I think that's his running condition. I think he's sort of always a bit fed up. It does it sets it up quite nicely, because you've got this sort of terrorist event that we're not who's connected to that. You got these 2 competing politicians for this race of mayor, I think it is. You've got Rivers has sort of lost as he's ever been with the grandfather. I think in the end of season 4, I reached out to River, and that was basically it was the kindness. You know, I know he's having a terrible time with his grandfather, so I called him up, invited him for a drink, and I said, well, as long as you don't say a fucking word and you buy your own drink, and that's
caring for Jackson.
Yes.
I mean, that's the warm hug and a bath, basically. Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah, so, and then this story that Shirley has latched onto about trying to kill Ho, which on the one hand seems completely ridiculous, and he's really basically not even paying attention in one respect, and then on the other hand, there might be something there. So.
Douglas, I want to bring it to you. I just know how incredible an actor Nick Mohammed is. I think all of the actors in this are incredible, but when I saw him joining this, I just figured that y'all brought him in because you saw the same thing, is that he's just such an incredible actor. I'd love for you to talk about him joining the season as
Well,
a guest star.
it's a broader thing. We have a wonderful casting director, Nina Gold. She's nominated for an Emmy for this year. So, and isn't it nice that casting directors are now included in the thing, right? So Nina Gold will bring us suggestions and actors, and almost all of them are on tape. You know, unfortunately, we don't do it in person anymore, which is a real, I think, disservice to actors, honestly. But you're stuck with the system where you look at it on tape, and myself and the other executive producers and Gary and the director will look at the tapes, and we have an embarrassment of riches. There's always terrific actors, and we've been very lucky at choosing the ones that are just right. And so we've had a bunch of them in and out of the show as well. So that is how we do that part of it.
It's an interesting thing, because I do remember I call it the old days, but the old days. The directors used to fly in from here and meet New York actors. And, you know, there's a difference between doing a tape and sending. I never had to do that because I'm from a different generation, but there's something very different to just sending a tape in, getting a few bullet points, and you know, throwing it out there, hoping for the best, to being in a room with someone. I'll give you an example. Years ago, I directed a film, and I went to a famous East London drama school. It's been there forever, called Anna Scher. And I watched a group of young actors. I was looking for this young kid, Charlie Creed Miles, and I was looking for this young kid, and I watched an improvisation that they were doing, and I said, well, he could work, and the kids then met me in a room upstairs, and they read a piece from the film. Charlie came in, and he read very badly. But I'd just seen him in an improvisation, and he had an energy that was like a young Al Pacino. I mean, he had something about him. And I said to him, I think you're a better actor than how you just read. Would you like to learn it? I had a feeling about him. I said, would you like to learn it and then come back and see me again in a week? Which he did, and I gave him the job on the spot. He read for me. He was really great. I gave him one little adjustment, and he made this adjustment, and he was fabulous. And I leaned across the table and shook his hand and said, "You're brilliant. You got the job." Now, if he had sent in a tape, it would have been a whole different thing.
It would have been one of those revolving door moments. It wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, so I think it is super important to be in the room, with someone, and now the system is such that it's hard enough as it is. There's a lot of actors, not enough jobs, and with streaming, yeah, there's more work maybe now than there was, but you know, it's hard enough as it is. You make it even harder. You're just sort of sending in, you know, your 3 minutes of tape, and you know, hoping it's like a message in a bottle.
I'm sorry to have hijacked the conversation about this, about this whole idea.
But no, it's important.
I can talk for an hour about what a disservice it is for actors and casting directors and for everybody in the process when you're not in the same room. And it costs actors money. They go out and spend money on these tapes, and they're holding down jobs. I long for us to be in a room with people. It ain't gonna happen, but I long for it.
I don't think anyone in this room disagrees. I want to bring it back a little bit to the past couple seasons. It's crazy to think that this show would have you doing anything that your illustrious career hasn't had you already do to this point. But being as though you've been on the show now for 4 seasons, and this was like a big moment for you to even come to television like this, what do you think you've learned most from playing Lamb over that time that you hadn't experienced until you've been like this, leading a show for this long and sort of being able to keep come back to it?
Well, I didn't think it was such a big thing to do TV. I've been a fan of long form, we both have, for years, as many of us are in this room. Some of the best writing, best cinematography, best acting, best directing, best set design, but you see it on TV. You know, so the quality of I know that there's a stigma many years ago where people were either film actors and they would sort of look down on those that did television. It was like a television actor, and then there was the film actor. Now directors are clamouring. Famous directors are clamouring to get in on the game. They want to do a big show on TV now too. So it wasn't such a leap for me to. It wasn't coming down.
But did it have any challenges, just like with the action or with the drama, or was there anything that you got to do in this role that you hadn't got to do before, in what people are calling the best spy show that's ever been on television? Say that.
I suppose in a way I got a chance to play Smiley if everything had gone wrong. I was sort of like the other side of it was the other side of the coin. What I've most enjoyed, because it's a great character, it's, you know, and these characters and this whole universe it's all come out of the head of Mick Herron, who wrote the books. He created these people. So yes, it's a great character to come back to and revisit. And I have enormous fun standing on the set in those scruffy clothes and greasy hair, insulting everyone, you know. And occasionally, you know, at the right moment, passing gas. So it's a lot of fun to play. But the thing that's made it the most enjoyable and a highlight of my career has been the experience of coming back again and again and working with the same people. The cast are amazing, not only super talented, but super nice. We just worked with, the season 5 is...
This gets confusing. We are writing season 7, which we're about to shoot. We're post on season 6. We've just finished post on season 5, and so you're asking me.
Where's Hugo Weaving? Is it 4? It is 4. Yeah,
it's 4 and maybe 6.
What are you doing? There are apple snipers back there that are gonna come for you, sir. But they can't get me.
If you see a red dot. No, it's just you got the familiar. You got the people that are the stable that you come back and see again and again. I adore them. They're fabulous people. And then you've got people then you've got the sort of guest star, as it were. And then Hugo turns up, who's, if you ever interviewed him?
Yes, and it's amazing, yes.
He's adorable, isn't he? He's absolutely...
He's so sinister on screen, but he's the nicest man.
So sweet, he's so sweet. So that has been...
And he comes from Australia to do the show. He flies in from Australia to London.
Because often and I'm sure that, you know, there's actors here, you have that thing where you work with, now Christina Scott Thomas, for instance, it was nice to reconnect with her because of working with her before, but there's a lot of times in this industry where you work with people and you really get on with them and you go, wouldn't it be nice to do something else together? and you never see them again, ever.
But then, Gary, then you have someone that you've never met, like James Callis. And the first day,
And we were fan. I was a fan.
well, yes, because he was playing Claude, as you remember. He takes over the first desk, if you remember this character. This sort of fascinating, I mean, he's wonderful, James Callis, in it. I think the first day he worked with you, you were cracking up. I think that because his timing in the room, and the director is smart enough not to say cut. Because if you don't say cut to James Callis, he keeps doing it. And it's all there.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we talk a little bit about some of the other folks, and Jack is just incredible. And what I really loved in this episode, I was in here in the back, and when they're having that chat on the patio, and he's just like trying to be like, okay, it's your birthday, going away party. She's just like, we're all screwed. And he's like still trying at this point, I think this season, to have an uplifting moment after everything that happened with Marcus. Can you preview a little bit of what we have in store with Jack's character? Because I do feel he's a little bit lost in season 1. Douglas, I was going to ask you.
Episode 1, you mean?
Yeah, episode 1.
I can't tell you what happens to Jack's character.
I mean, just preview a little bit. You were telling all kinds of stuff a minute ago, and you won't give me a preview.
You already know that Grandpa Cartwright is in an old care home. And so he's got that to address, and he's, I'm not gonna tell you anything else.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay. I won't do it.
You have to watch it because it's fun.
I don't have a great deal of patience for his.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You have to watch it because by the time you get to episode, I forget if it's 3 or 4, the acceleration pedal gets pushed, and you'll see it's fun.
Okay.
And I have to be very careful because I did one of these things many, many years ago, and someone innocently, they asked me if there was going to be another Batman. And Batman 3, the thing, and I just went, yeah, there's going to be.
How quickly did Chris Nolan call you?
The call came from Warner's.
The call came from Warner Brothers, and of course it's their prerogative to announce it. And I completely it was innocent. It wasn't like me trying to be, but I got into. So,
I don't want to get you into anything, sir.
I don't want Apple.
We want to keep the knighthood intact. I get it. I'm just kidding. No.
I mean, for those that read the books, the fans of the books will have a good idea of. And there's people that I know who have read the books and say to me, "Is so and so in it, and is this going to happen?" And because so you can, it's not a locked thing in a vault somewhere. You can actually go and read the books, and we stick close to them. But
That's why I was wondering why he was being. But I got it.
And as you notice, the author of the books, McCarran, is not afraid to have people die, including favorite characters. So we're all surprised at that, and it's very funny when we've shot seasons where someone dies, but they end up being at various parties that we're at because the show hasn't aired yet. Yeah. And we said, we wish your character was still alive. I can't tell you a funny story about what someone said to me about the way of weaving him back in. But we don't shoot episodes on this show. This is an important thing. We shoot 1 6-hour movie. We don't shoot it episode 1, episode 2. It's all written in advance. And we hire one director, which is a big undertaking because it's more than 12 months of his life, about 14 months of his life between prep and shooting and post. So you hire one director because we wanted that one imprint of DNA per 6. And you'll notice that each of the 6, just as mixed books have different personalities, each of the 6 seasons has a different personality. Season 1 was you meet the characters. Season 2 was more like the Tinker season. Season 1 is like the Bourne season, actually. And season 3 is what I call the MacGuffin season because they're looking for the microfilm. We still know what's on this film, but they all are going in the bunker to get this film. So we do sort of label them, and we shoot the 6-hour movie, and that's part of the reason why we think it's a little bit bingeable. there's two reasons. I think that's one of them. The idea that you have that one DNA makes you feel that you're watching one movie, even though there's a cliffhanger about every 55 minutes. But the other thing about the one director is they will have chosen the DP, the sound. The season 2 was shot in the summertime, deliberate decision. The heat was going to be an element. And it turned out to be a good, very stressful decision to make, but a very good decision for all concerned. And so you get 6, and the other part of it is that, we were talking about this earlier, that if you turn to your wife at 1 a.m. and you're 2 or 3 or 4 in, and you say, how many are there? Because you know you're going to decide to stay awake or not. And if your wife says there's 4 more, you say, oh, okay, let's go to bed, we'll do it. But if they say there's 1 or 2 more, you say, oh, let's stay up and watch it. And that...
Well, we've all done it because we go,
yeah.
Okay, so if we watch 2 more, it'll be 3 a.m. and we've got that thing tomorrow at 10.
And that is why there are 6. That is why we came up with 6.
Thank you for that, because I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, I put it on. I find it like it's a show you want to watch from start to finish, and then start it over again from start to finish.
And then we do the other thing. It's not new. But we do a coming attraction at the end of episode 6. And coming attractions are nothing new, and they're fun to make, as you all know, because they can be incredibly stupid. Because you can say, "What? Don't go in there." Yeah. She's got a knife, and you cut it together. We're giggling, but it says something to our customers that's really important, which is your time has been well spent. You're not going to wait 3 years. There's more coming. You're in good hands, and we want that to be something that we try and keep up. Yeah.
I think that's why the show has grown in popularity. That popularity is evident by all of you. I'm so sorry to cut you off. I would like to stay up here for an hour, but you'll have a lovely reception outside where you guys are going to get to chat with all of them, and you can ask them all of your questions about acting and everything in between. So I want to remind all of you that you can vote for Slow Horses and these gentlemen and most. And we'll see more outside. If y'all hold 1 second just so we can get them out there.